Welcome back to NBA Cinema, guys. So, LeBron James just went in on Charles Barkley, Stephen A. Smith, and a lot of the other media that's been covering the NBA, saying that all they have to say is negative things about the game of basketball and the up and coming players. One of the points of contention is, it's not as physical, shoot too many threes, which I all believe are fair points, right? I don't think people are pulling that out of thin air. But Anthony Edwards recently said he doesn't want to be the face of the league. And so LeBron was asked about it in his post-game interview, and he pretty much agreed with everything Shannon Frye said the other day to go at Charles Barkley, Stephen A. Smith, and others. Now, if you guys didn't see that video, I'm going to play that clip first and show you kind of what Anthony Edwards had been saying, and then we'll get into what LeBron James had to say. Let's peek.
Do you consider yourself the top candidate to be the next face of the league?
No, not really.
Why?
That's what they got. That's what they got Wemby for.
I'm capable of being that guy, but I don't want to be that guy. Put it like that. I want to be the guy to just show up and hoop and just kill dudes and go home.
Man, I'm not so. For me, I'm not so sure there is one. Ant-Man has told you he doesn't want to be one. His favorite player is Kevin Durant. Kevin Durant says, "I just want to show up and hoop. That's it. That's my job, to hoop, drop 30 if I need to, drop 40, 50 if I need to, win the game, go home. That's it. All that facing the stuff. Ja might have could have been it, but he had some off the court issues that kind of slowed him down and hampered that. He's trying to work his way back into the graces. Zion just has never really materialized. I don't know, for whatever reason, people seem to have an issue with Jason Tatum. I thought he had the greatest chance. But to make a long story short, guys, and I'm sorry that I went long, I'm not so sure there is a next phase.
I understand your point, and you're absolutely right. You can't want something more for somebody else than they want for themselves. And I totally get that. But that doesn't mean I'm not entitled to my wish list. And my wish is that Anthony Edwards changes his mind.
Hey, can I say one more thing?
Yeah.
I saw some guys on another network the other day talking about face of the league. Mm-hmm. And I was so annoyed just sitting around watching. And, Jerry started with Kevin Durant was talking about Wemby being the face of the league. First of all, you don't give anybody the face of the league. Am I right, Shaq? Shaq took being face of the league. When Magic Johnson and Larry Bird came in, they're like, we're the new sheriffs in town. Shaq took it. Kobe took it. LeBron took it. Steph took it. But I get so annoyed when I hear these guys like, you don't give somebody something. That's one of the problems we got. These idiots won't play in the All-Star game. We've given them so much. They don't have no respect for the history. But you don't give anybody the face of the game. You take it.
Yeah, you don't anoint them. It becomes.
You take it.
Yeah, it's what the player. It's what the player's made of and what the player wants.
And to counter what Chuck's saying, whoever they will be, they will try to put somebody as the face of the league. They do that, but Chuck makes a great point. You have to go take it.
Yep.
And while they're sitting saying him, John Moran is thinking something different. Luka's thinking something different. A lot of young guys are, okay, you're gonna make him.
Ant-Man is thinking something different.
Ant-Man is thinking something different. So, it's just them against us syndrome.
Nostalgia is killing the NBA. The 90s basketball, Michael Jordan and Kobe, was not as clean as y'all think it was. Y'all forget that Jordan left the league for 2 years. Y'all forget that Kobe, rest in peace, quit on his team in the playoffs and did not shoot the basketball. So all this Kobe, Jordan, oh, he's not this, he's not that. That is propaganda. Every great player, whether that's Ant, Wemby, Bron, Steph, this, that. They compare him to a motherfucker 40 years ago. The rules weren't even the same. You're not really watching help side defense. Who's doing this? What is this rule? What is that rule? You're not watching. Nobody celebrates these new people. So why the fuck would anybody want to be the face of this league where you're going to get shitted on every network for not being somebody from 40 fucking years ago? It's ridiculous. It is unfair. Bron is one of the greatest players ever to play. Stephen Curry is one of the greatest players ever to play. Giannis is one of the great. Jokic. And you know what we do? We talk about fucking Michael Jordan. All this superstar era shit is over. The card cap called a second apron, it's over. Teams are going to take over.
I wanted to show those clips to kind of catch everyone up to speed. I mean, there's many other things you should see about some of the things that's been said about the game that many people don't like what Charles Barkley and others are saying. But that's just a basis of what's been going on. Now you can see what LeBron James had to say, and we're going to react to this extensively. Let's check it.
I mean, it's unfortunate, but like, I don't know why do you want to be the face of a league when all the people that that cover our game and talk about our game on a day-to-day basis on everybody. I mean, that responsibility. It's just weird. It's weird energy from the people that I don't know, but Shannon, he said it. He said it perfectly. Couldn't have said it no better. But Ant said he don't want it. Obviously I didn't ask for it, but I knew there was a responsibility for me, not only to my family, my friends, my community, and whoever that was going to follow my journey throughout my career. Not only in Ohio when I started there, but all over America and all over the world when I traveled all over the world. So. I've always taken that seriously and understood from the beginning what being a professional was all about and being a role model was all about. So try to hold that with the utmost respect and honor. And but I feel I understand. I completely understand. This is weird energy when it comes to that. So.
LeBron, let me start out by saying you've done a phenomenal job of being the face of the league. You've handled your image has been great for the most part. If all we can do is point to the decision, which, that started some other things as far as playing on super teams in your prime, which I think was bad for the game. But if that's the only thing we can kind of look at you and say, then you've done a great job. You've done a great job still with your wife, father in the home and all that. We love everything about what you've done in that regard. With that said, these players have to take some responsibility. It's not like you guys aren't being compensated for being the face of the league. You want everything that comes with that. You want all the attention, all the endorsements, your name and lights. You want to say you're the GOAT and all this stuff. And that's what comes with it. And you've put together a resume to be mentioned with the greatest of the great. So what I would say is, now you said you understood the responsibility and that's why you were able to do it. Put it like this. Some of the guys who was the face of the league back in the day, they didn't get their just due. They didn't get the money that they deserved for being the face of the league. And everything is being set up for y'all to be where y'all are at now. These pioneers, some of these jokers worked jobs in the off season, and then came and played in the NBA. Some of them, they made decent money, but not enough to last for a lifetime. Everybody wasn't as smart as Junior Brigman back in the day. Michael Jordan, I remember him playing for $3 million. And nobody has been as important to the NBA as him. Maybe Magic and Bird, setting that platform for him to go knock it out the park. But it's important, to continue having a face of the league, because honestly, you shouldn't have to be the face of the league at this point no more. You've been the face of the league so long and have done a good job, but you're 40. Anthony Edwards, somebody else needs to step up to the plate. But I can already see how some of his stuff is going with those text messages with those young ladies and all that being out there. He's not going to be the face of the league now, because he done, in back-to-back seasons, Ja Morant kind of messed with his image, and then you had Anthony Edwards come play good last year, look like he may be that next guy in line. Then all this crap come out about him telling the girl to go unalive the kid and all this stuff he's doing. All this stuff. Now you running from it. And then, Melo even said, you can't run from that, man. Somebody has to be the face of the league. And you've had Steph Curry to help you out with that too, revolutionize the game. with his long distance shooting and all his exciting plays, but y'all time is coming down to an end. And I hate when people put KD as one of the faces of the league. KD might have almost had that, in OKC for a little bit, but anytime after OKC, he hasn't been face of the league. I don't like when they put him in you and Steph conversations as far as face of the league, because he's not that. His personality is he go out there and hoop. But you and Steph, y'all have that marketability as the face of the league, and that's always important. When you want to take the game to the next level, when you want to go negotiate these TV deals, because I'm pretty sure these guys who don't want to be the face of the league wants the money that a league that has a face that brings in all this revenue allows them to have. They're going to want those contracts, and you don't get all these things without having a guy or two to carry the league, and a few rivalries and some healthy competition. Now, I could say Adam Silver and his regime is a big part of why a lot of the basketball is bad. The rule changes, all this emphasis on offense and lack of defense, that same old high ball screen play for everybody, isolate, pick and pop, or the guard shooting every time 50, 60, 73s in the game, all this ugly basketball. That's why people are talking bad about the league. It's not about even the talent of the players. It's the style of the basketball. I'm even seeing players like Jalen Brunson used to be, when he came out of college, he was a point guard. Now he comes out in some Knicks games that I've watched, he'll take the first 5 shots. You the point guard. Sometimes you need to be the last person to take a shot. Let everybody else touch the ball. All this foul baiting and just it progressively got worse over time. I remember Kevin Durant used to snatch his arms under the defender and get the 3 foul shots. Chris Paul was the first one doing that. And then Harden, I always say Harden's points wasn't real. Some of those points wasn't real. He was a good player, but some of that time in Houston where he was just manipulating the rules, we saw that those weren't real because he couldn't do them in the postseason when it counted. And I hate that the game was manipulated like that, and people see what they're watching. And I know people want to say, oh, the 90s, y'all just living on nostalgia in the late 80s, early 90s basketball. And was it perfect? No, it wasn't perfect, but it was more physical, and you came away from from a game and you were satisfied with the product and the way that it ended. You felt like both teams didn't like each other when it came to championships, and they competed for the same thing. Sometimes in today's game, these guys might compete, but they just, it doesn't feel the same. The game is uglier. There's no passes on a lot of possessions. Just dribble up the court, shoot the 3. Then another person grabs it, comes down, shoots another 3. And as good as Boston is, they would get killed by some of those teams in the past. They take too many stupid shots. 3 after 3 after 3 after 3. And so that's what people are speaking to, man. They can criticize the game. Like Charles Barkley, Shaq, people used to love them. Now everybody want to cancel inside the NBA because they're talking about some of the teams. And maybe there is time for a new show. Maybe it is. But, I don't want to hear nothing from these players. They have their own narrative. They have their own podcast. What are y'all complaining about? They put a narrative out there. Y'all come right behind them and put your own narrative on it nowadays. The players of yesteryear didn't get to do that. Understand it's a new level of scrutiny, a new level of, different people just popping up talking about the game. And it's different. I get that. But at the same time, man, you guys making $200, $300 million to play basketball. So don't, how do I put this? Don't be shocked that I don't feel bad for y'all. Man, get your butt out there and play $200 and something million, $300 million contract. You crying about somebody making you the face of the league. Out of here with that.